Many people earn well, have job stability, but live on the edge, without savings and always counting the days until the next salary. It is not the income that determines wealth, but rather what you do with it. Warren Buffett, who started with almost nothing, applied 5 non-negotiable principles. If you apply these same fundamentals consistently, it is very difficult for you to remain poor. The majority of people believe that they are doing well financially if they are able to pay all their bills at the end of the month. However, this is one of the biggest misconceptions of the European middle class. Not accumulating anything is akin to running on a treadmill. You move, you tire yourself out, but you remain in the same place. Having money is one thing. Appearing to have it is something completely different. Financed cars or installment smartphones do not represent wealth. They are merely temporary disguises, and they are costly in the long run. This is where Warren Buffett's first principle comes into play. Never spend what you cannot pay for upfront. Buffett is known for living simply, despite being one of the richest men in the world. If the price of fitting something into the present is sacrificing security in the future, the real cost is much greater than it seems. In practice, this translates into traps such as car leasing, offers with 0% interest, and the recurrent use of bank overdrafts or credit cards. These are mechanisms that create the illusion of purchasing power. However, upon clear analysis, you realize that what these tools actually do is bring forward a lifestyle that your assets cannot yet sustain. The solution begins with a simple question. How much do you really have left after living? I am referring to your net minimum necessity. What remains after housing, transportation, food, and fixed obligations. This number is the true thermometer of your financial freedom. From this, you set your consumption limit, and not the other way around. To better control this behavior, apply 2 simple strategies. The first is the 24-hour rule. Before any non-essential purchase, wait a day. This interval reduces impulses and improves decision-making. The second is the pay yourself first method. As soon as you receive your salary, automatically transfer a portion to a separate savings or investment account. This ensures that even if you do spend, you will not jeopardize your future. Now, if you manage to keep an amount left over at the end of the month, the question becomes inevitable. What exactly to do with this surplus? This is where the second principle comes into play. Few things are more destabilizing than a financial unexpected event. A flat tire or an unexpected medical expense. Any of these incidents can completely compromise the budget of someone living on the edge. That is why Buffett's second principle is so fundamental. Before investing, build your emergency cushion. This fund should cover at least 2 to 3 months of your basic expenses. Not your salary, but your actual cost of living. This includes housing, food, transportation, insurance, and any other fixed expenses that you cannot suddenly cut. With this reserve, you gain time, emotional security, and the ability to make decisions under pressure. Without an emergency fund, even a small unforeseen event can force you to resort to credit, which initiates a difficult cycle to break. More than the financial cost, the stress of living without a buffer compromises your ability to think clearly and make good decisions. But where to keep this money? The ideal answer is a high liquidity account with reasonable yield. Many Germans have opted for Tagesgeldkonten with a return of around 3% per annum, as offered by institutions such as Comdirect or Trade Republic, aiming to protect capital rather than maximize gains. For those starting from scratch, the rule of thumb is clear. Set aside 10% of your net income every month until you reach the necessary amount. And if that number seems high, start with less. The important thing is to create the habit. In fact, here's a powerful mini habit. Set a monthly reminder on your phone to review the balance of your reserve. Just seeing the amount grow will create a positive cycle of reinforcement and continuity in your brain. And now that the risk is under control, we can enter the most interesting part of the journey: how to make your money work for you. And this is where the third principle comes in. If you understand this principle deeply, it can change your financial life, even without an extraordinary salary. We are talking about the power of time combined with compound interest. This is the invisible gear that transforms discipline into wealth, even with modest contributions. Compound interest is nothing more than earning returns on previous returns. At first, growth is slow, but over time, growth accelerates exponentially. Imagine a small snowball rolling down a mountain. At the beginning, it is light, almost harmless, but as it rolls, it accumulates more mass and speed. This is the effect that few can wait to see. The rule of 72 is a simple way to visualize this effect. Just divide 72 by the estimated annual interest rate. With a rate of 7%, your money doubles in about 10 years. This means that even with a conservative rate, common in well-diversified global ETFs, the growth over 2 or 3 decades can be impressive. Now let's look at a concrete example. Suppose you invest €250 per month in a global ETF, such as the MSCI World. With an average return of 7% per year, you would have approximately €245,000 after 30 years. The key point here is not how much you start investing, but how long you maintain the habit. This is the logic of the snowball effect. The sooner you start, the less effort will be needed in the future. Many brokers in Germany offer automatic savings plans, starting from €10 per month. Platforms such as Trade Republic and Scalable Capital simplify this process with just a few clicks. All of this sounds solid, right? But there is a silent enemy that can destroy this structure before it even starts. And we will talk about that in the next principle. Earning more does not automatically mean having more. In fact, many professionals in Germany with incomes above €80,000 per year live with the same financial anxiety as those earning half. How is this possible? The answer lies in lifestyle inflation. When salary increases, spending rises along with it, and sometimes even faster. It is a dangerous cycle. A bonus turns into a new car, a raise becomes a larger house, and each new fixed expense swallows part of your future freedom. The trap is silent, because almost everyone around you is doing the same. Social comparison turns comfort into competition. You do not buy because you need to. You buy because your colleague bought something, and now it feels like you are falling behind. It is easy to fall into the illusion that financial success is about what you flaunt, and forget that true freedom is about what you no longer need to prove anything. Warren Buffett understood this early on. He has lived in the same house for decades, drives ordinary cars, and eats at McDonald's. And not for lack of options. He knows that lifestyle does not need to grow with income. It needs to grow with utility, with what truly enhances your quality of life, not just your status. Here is a practical exercise. Every time you want to upgrade your consumption, whether it be a new television, a car, or a trip, also upgrade your investment. If you spend €1,000 in leisure, invest at least €200 in assets. Because in an ideal world, it is assets that should pay for your pleasures, not your active income. Now, even with all these practices, there is one last principle that differentiates those who merely save from those who truly become rich. It is an invisible habit, but present in 100% of successful cases. In the heart of Bavaria, Lena inherited a simple piece of land from her grandparents. Many claimed that the soil was poor and of no use. However, she recalled an old piece of advice from her grandfather. Plant apples. One single tree over time can nourish a village. Disregarding the opinions of others, Lena planted dozens of saplings. For years, she reaped nothing but work and patience. But after 5 years, the first fruits appeared. Over time, a stable and sustainable production emerged, generating income and supplying the entire community. This is the essence of long-term thinking. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, but completely underestimate what they can attain in 10. When it comes to wealth, time is not just a factor. It is the absolute difference between stagnation and abundance. Buffett refers to this as the infinite game. He only invests with decades in mind. He understands that the true power lies in progressive accumulation, and that the initial years are the most challenging because the results are still invisible. But afterwards, the curve accelerates. To put this into practice, think in 3 horizons. In the short term, set aside liquidity for emergencies. In the medium term, focus on clear goals, such as early retirement or children's education. And in the long term, invest for total freedom, the kind where money works for you and you choose how to spend your time. Want to visualize this? Use simulators like those from Finance Tip or Extra ETF. Input your monthly contributions and see the impact over 10, 20, and 30 years with different rates. It is revealing. And here is a difficult technical fact to ignore. According to the Vanguard Group, investors who maintained their portfolios for more than 15 years, between 1926 and 2020, had a statistical chance of 0% of ending up at a loss. 0. What does this show? That you do not need to time the market perfectly. Just remain in it long enough. You do not need to be fast. You need to be consistent for a long enough time. These 5 practices do not guarantee that you will become a millionaire, but they ensure that poverty will no longer be a real threat. If this makes sense to you, subscribe to the channel to receive more videos like this and share this video with someone who will join you on the journey to wealth. True wealth begins with small decisions made logically and repeated with discipline. Start today, because in 10 years' time, you will wish you had started now. We will see you in the next video.